I go after Nick Fuentes or Hassan Piker, a revolting person. You should call him Hamas Piker.
No! No! Oh, got him! Oh, we gotta run that back. Look. This is the part that I saw where he like briefly brings up Nick Fuentes, and then my favorite enemy, my favorite op, Jonathan Greenblatt, ladies and gentlemen. Jonathan Greenblatt is once again, I don't know what kind of conference he's doing. He's doing some shady backdoor conference complaining about, people hating Israel once again, right? Oh, damn, Tucker Carlson. Is he coming to my defense? That's crazy. ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt, while speaking before an LA synagogue, suggests he's helping people behind the scenes to take down Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and Hassan Piker. I need people on the right to take down Tucker, so I'm trying to help Ted Cruz, Greenblatt reveals. I need people on the right to take down Nick Fuentes, so I'm trying to help people like Ben Shapiro. He says he's doing the same thing on the left.
Jonathan, can you comment on Nick Fuentes, and what do you actually do that effectively can counter what he does?
That's a South African, isn't it? Is that a South African man in a Los Angeles synagogue? Wow. Shocking turn of events. I see the ADL is back to its old ways in some ways. It hasn't changed at all.
And what are your expectations of the government to be critical of a person that has that kind of platform?
So for everyone's benefit, the question was, can I comment on Nick Fuentes and what he does, and what are you doing to counter him, and what's the government's role?
By the way, his second name is Joseph, a good Jewish name.
Nick Fuentes' second name is Joseph?
Yes.
Look, his last name is Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a Hispanic person, okay? And he is an open, unapologetic, racist, homophobe, and more than anything, an anti-Semite. He's a toxic, disgusting person, and yet, thanks to X and social media.
Who brought him back on X? Jonathan, who brought him back on X? Yeah, he also calls it X gross. Who unbanned him, Jonathan? Say it with your chest, big dog. You were defending him not that long ago when he was throwing up the double sig Heil, as a matter of fact. When you said he was just a quirked up white boy. Remember? Remember the guy that you hang out with all the time? The guy you hang out with all the time, he is the one who unbanned him.
When given the opportunity, people in positions of power don't renounce this guy. Now look, to his credit, J.D. Vance has done that, but we have this challenge right now on the right, and it's like a good thing because there are bad voices who've been elevated. Like, look, Nick Fuentes is disgusting, Tucker Carlson is disgusting, Candace Owens is disgusting, and so on. But there have been good people like Ted Cruz and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin who are pushing back on these, Speaker Johnson, pushing back on these revolting lunatics. So to answer the question, I think the only way we are going to defeat the rising anti-Semitism on the right is from the right. I think the only way we're going to defeat the rising anti-Zionism on the left.
Wow. Notice he doesn't say rising anti-Semitism on the left, and it switches gears to anti-Zionism. For this crowd, of course, there's no difference between anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. As a matter of fact, anti-Zionism is even worse than anti-Semitism in many cases, right?
By people on the left. So what I try to do at ADL, what we try to do, is to provide data, is to provide tools, is to step up, but often quietly behind the scenes. It doesn't help. I don't think it helps the Jewish people, and it doesn't disarm them.
You know what helps the Jewish people? When you, as a representative of combating anti-Semitism, run around talking about how you, as a Jewish person, as a Jewish representative, associate all of the crimes of Israel with Jews, and then say, as a representative of the Jews here in the United States of America, I am controlling the media in secret backroom dealings. I'm sure this will not foment anti-Semitism. Motherfucker, in an effort to combat anti-Semitism, he's basically just literally making people more anti-Semitic. He's just running around being like, hey guys, just want to let you know, I am controlling the media. Obviously, the very fact that I have not been banned yet is a testament to how little motion he has. Little bald man over here. But yeah, we're trope maxing. We're doing tropes. The reason why he's doing it quietly behind the scenes is because it's not working. Because he's not just doing it quietly behind the scenes. He's doing it very publicly as well.
I go after Nick Fuentes or Hassan Piker, a revolting person. You should call him Hamas Piker.
No! No! Oh, got him! Oh, we got to run that back. Look. This is the part that I saw where he like briefly brings up Nick Fuentes and then has so much more to say about me.
It doesn't disarm them when I go after Nick Fuentes or Hassan Piker, a revolting person. They should call him Hamas Piker. He's here in LA, and he's just a putrid, says horrible, slanderous things about Jews, about
Hamas Piker. Putrid. I hate him. I hate him so much. Bro, this is my J. Jonah Jameson, dude. Why I oughta get me pictures of Spider-Man. Oh, I wonder who he's working with on the left, by the way. Quite the interesting situation. Who could he be working with on the left to take down Hamas Piker?
horrible, slanderous things about Jews, about Zionists, about Israel.
And has a big platform.
Yeah, so you might not know Hassan Piker, but if your kids are watching video games, you better believe they do. Because on Twitch and on Steam, he's everywhere, let alone on YouTube.
Steam. I'm everywhere on Steam, dude. You don't even know. Every video game has a little Hamas Piker in it, okay? Every single developer has aligned with Hamas Piker. We are doing the resistance. Mukawama, okay? This is what we are doing. Every video game has a little Hassan Piker in it.
An Insta. So anyways, long story short, we definitely are working a lot to try to get the platforms to kind of enforce their own terms of service so that we can pull down the most offensive hate speech or get them to do it. But I need people on the right to take down Tucker Carlson. So I'm trying to help Ted Cruz. I need people on the right to take down Nick Fuentes. So I'm trying to help people like Ben, and same thing on the left.
I do just want to say, when I talked in the sermon about the nuance of every human being and how we're all children, I didn't mean Nick Fuentes.
At least he doesn't have smoke for me. At least he's like, yeah, you know, Nick Fuentes. Jonathan, on the other hand, is like, no, Hassan, Hamas Piker. Yeah, so everybody has been clowning on this dip on the timeline. Great. The ADL found the 500,000 Hassan-centered Max Payne clones I listed for sale on Steam. Carl Biger says he's lying. My Hassan schoolgirl skin for Isekai Succubus isn't even allowed on Steam Workshop. You can only get it on Nexus mods. Just imagining Greenblatt in a dream sequence levels, but instead of the crying baby is Hassan saying truthful things about Israel. Truthful but hurtful. It's so awesome, dude. I love it personally. Keep coping. Keep seething. I said Jonathan Greenblatt is more mad at me, an avowed anti-Zionist, than Nick Fuentes, an open anti-Semite. Very interesting priorities for this asshole. It's so funny because it's like he's just so mad. He's so mad that his project is failing. Like literally the worst at his job. I cannot think of a person that is worse at his job than Jonathan Greenblatt. He's not lying. What is this? What the is this? The Fire Rises character expansion. Oh, this is, I guess I am all over it, dude. Mr. Beast, civilian military, Joe Biden, Zoran Mamdani, Asmongold, Ben Shapiro, Brandon Herrera, Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump, Tyler Robinson. List of current features: APA General, Hassan Piker, Luigi Mangione, Kanye West, Luigi Mangione, Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes got more mentions than me. What the hell? How to unlock characters. HasanAbi unbanned after one single day. Why? Funny how VTubers get banned for more than Hassan bin Laden. What is happening on Steam? Okay, maybe they are talking about me on Steam. I didn't realize. Jonathan Greenblatt was watching me play Dispatch, and he did not like that I chose Blonde Blazer. He was devastated. He was actually also a Waterboy truther. Hamas Piker didn't even choose Waterboy. It was obviously the real play. Is he homophobic as well as anti-Zionist, which is the worst crime you can be? It's the worst type of bigotry you can engage in. Greenblatt says he has 40 full-time employees spying on DSA et al. And forwarding it to the FBI.
We measure and track. Number two, we monitor and disrupt. We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts work.
Like, this is a spy, okay? I need you to understand. This is a spy for Israel. It doesn't matter that he's an American citizen. He is a spy for Israel, spying on American citizens. And this is what the ADL used to do back in the day as well. It's not even new. This is like old. The ADL in the 90s were spying on American citizens for the apartheid state of South Africa. And it's the same with the Canary mission as well. Just since no one is noticing this, we also confirmed an employee of Israeli nonprofit Megamot Shalom employee works on Canary mission. More confirmation that it's operated in Israel by Israelis. It is one of the craziest things that is happening in real time. Jonathan Greenblatt is an agent of Israel. Canary Mission also is an agent of Israel. They literally operate inside of the American boundaries to get American citizens and American immigrants that have green cards, that are on the process of getting their citizenship deported before it gets there for the crime of maintaining the popular position on Israel. It's crazy. Bro, everyone is spying. Cope harder. Okay, when you find a spy, a foreign spy, what do you do to them? If he was Chinese doing this for China, what do you think would happen to him? Are you okay? How cucked can you be? Aren't you a American? Aren't you America first? What are we talking about, man? Yeah, former U.S. Navy sailor gets nearly 17 years in prison for spying for China. Jin Shaowei sold technical manuals for American warships to a Chinese intelligence officer who had recruited him on social media. Okay? Yeah, if only he was Israeli. We could maybe even elevate him to a position in Congress or something. You know what I mean? If he was doing it for Israel, would be kissing him, would be hugging and kissing him, being like, thank you, sir. Please. Because we were going to give the manuals ourselves to the Israeli government, but I'm glad that you took the initiative. Jonathan Pollard at least got. Yeah, Donald Trump, the ultra-Zionist, biggest dick eater of Israel, literally shipped off Jonathan Pollard in Sheldon Adelson's private jet. He was treated like a hero in Israel. If that's not a flex on America and every single American, I don't know what to tell you. That's why it's so funny when these dumb motherfuckers constantly talk about how much they love America, how America first they are. This is Israel first, bitch. Wake up. You are a dog to Israel, okay? Every single one of you. Every single one of you that doesn't recognize that you are a servile little dog to Israel, and many people in Congress are too. Anyone that doesn't want to rip apart this institution piece by piece is a dog to Israel.
This month you heard about the thing that happened at Wilshire Boulevard Temple? Our analysts investigated what happened. They said they were Korea.
Oh, they're spying on the DSA. It's fine. We hate those commies, right? No, you don't hate those commies. You hate America.
We were able to ascertain they were from a group called the Turtle Island Liberation Front. Turtle Island is how left-wing activists refer to the United States. They don't call it America. They call it Turtle Island, like the Iranians call it the Zionist entity, right? They only call it by its name. The Turtle Island Liberation Front, we gave them a whole dossier.
So that fake ass bullshit, the Turtle Island Liberation Front fake ass nonsense was actually they're doing? That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. That's what the ADL is doing. Remember that group that they caught that was going to do terrorism on New Year's Eve or whatever? They were making pipe bombs in the desert. They were making pipe bombs in the desert with a federal agent, dude. The out of here.
Kash Patel announced they cracked a terror ring where they arrested 4 people who were playing New Year's Eve bombings. Turtle Island Liberation Front. At least one of the people I know for certain was in the building at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, vandalizing it and disrupting the event. So we're monitoring left-wing radicals like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine.
The anti-war crazies.
We're monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists, armed militia groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them.
I want to remind people that the ADL was caught spying on American citizens on U.S. soil in collaboration with apartheid South Africa. They were spying on Jewish anti-apartheid protesters, as well as black anti-apartheid protesters and trade unionists and student organizations. They were caught, and I believe they had to pay, I think they were fined for it or something. I don't know. New details, extensive ADL spy operation emerge. Inquiry. Transcripts reveal nearly 40 years of espionage by a man who infiltrated political groups. His codename at the prominent Jewish organization was Cal, and he was so successful at infiltrating political groups that he was once chosen to head an Arab American delegation that visited Representative Nancy Pelosi in her Washington, D.C. office. For a time, Cal tapped into the phone message system of the white Aryan resistance to learn of their hate crimes. From police sources, he obtained privileged personal information on at least 1,394 people. Again, an Israeli spy. And he met surreptitiously with agents of the South African government to trade his knowledge for crisp, new $100 bills. These are among the secrets that Bullock and David Gervitz, a former Los Angeles-based operative, divulged in extensive interviews with the police and the FBI in a growing scandal over the nationwide nationwide intelligence network operated by the Anti-Defamation League. Officials for the Anti-Defamation League, while denying any improper activity, have said that they will cooperate with the investigation. They have refused to discuss Bullock and Gurvit. Transcripts of the interviews, among nearly 700 pages of documents released by San Francisco prosecutors last week, offer new details on the private spy operation that authorities allege crossed the line into illegal territory. In 1993, they were getting punished for it. Now, Jonathan Greenblatt, the current leader of the ADL, is openly talking about how he's doing this on U.S. soil. Will there be any pushback? No, of course not. Of course there won't be any pushback. This is one of the reasons as to why Jonathan Greenblatt hates me, because I called ADL the Apartheid Defense League.
We have taken resources and redistributed it really towards the LLMs, towards generative AI. Folks, I got to tell you, how many of you used ChatGPT in the last week? Raise your hand. Folks, I'm going to come back here in a year and you all need to raise your hand. ChatGPT is ground truth for the vast hundreds of millions of people. It has over 1 billion users. It's been around for like 2.5 years. So like marching in the streets is one thing we could do, but what I would rather do and where I'm investing is building the technology to train the LLMs more effectively and working with OpenAI, with Alphabet, with Anthropic, with Meta, with Microsoft. We are working with them now to train the LLMs. Heck, we're in conversations with Alibaba to train their LLM because the Chinese AI models are profound and potent and they're much more cost effective and they're spreading. So marching in the streets is certainly one thing we could do, and I get why that matters. But what I need to do is go where the puck is going. So we are investing in Wikipedia, LLMs, and trying to change the game before it changes us.
He's making Israel GPT real.
Deborah asked a question, wouldn't it be more powerful to say Jew hatred than anti-Semitism? Well, one thing I should just say is, again, protect, advocate, educate. We have centers of excellence at ADL, our Center on Extremism. We also have a Center on Anti-Semitism Research. Our Center on Anti-Semitism Research is run by a Stanford PhD. He's actually observant. We have several PhDs on staff. We have a network of academics and scholars we work with around the country. So we've done the research. We've literally done the research. And we're running everything all the time from focus groups to attitudinal surveys to like randomized controlled trials to identify what interventions work most effectively. And we've tested this. And the funny thing is, doesn't matter. The term Jew hatred we find in our research, when you say end Jew hatred, Gentiles think you're talking about the hatred of Jewish people. You understand that? As if we were the ones hating.
Wait, what? Oh my God. Are you serious? ADL research suggests that when you say end Jew hatred, Americans by and large assume it's the Jewish people that are doing the hatred. Oh my God. That is crazy.